So for this section, basically, we've got a return of 15%. What is the company's weighted average cost of capital? Companies financed by shares, which is essentially equity in shares, same thing, and then debt. Shareholders expect a return of 15%. They've basically given you the cost of equity for your first section. Company pays 25% corporation tax, 100,000 shares. Loan consists of 12% bank loans. So weighted average cost of capital is the main section for this. Weighted average cost of capital. So weighted average cost of capital, which basically works on the concept of three main sections. You've got the cost of equity multiplied by equity over debt plus equity. Your second section, which is your bank loan, 12% bank loans. So your second section is cost of bank loan multiplied by the bank loan over your debt plus equity. That's your second section. And then your final bit is essentially irredeemable bonds. They've given it to you in the question. 150,000, 8% irredeemable bonds at £110 market value. So our third bit is basically cost of the irredeemable bonds. Cost of the irredeemable bonds multiplied by the total amount of your irredeemable bonds over your debt plus equity. And that is the formula that we're using for weighted average cost of capital. Cost of equity, equity over debt plus equity, cost of your cost of bank loan, the bank loan over debt plus equity, and then your cost of irredeemable bonds, your irredeemable bonds over your debt plus equity. So three key stages. So we work on the first bit, equity. First bit of equity. So they've told you that shareholders expect a return of 15%. Shareholders expect a return of 15%. So right there, they've given you what your cost of equity is. But normally you would have to work it out. But in this section, they've given it to you, 15% cost of equity. And you've got 100,000 shares in issue with a market price of 600 pence. That's how you're going to work out your total amount of equity. So your total equity is 100,000 shares at 600 pence. So 100,000 shares at 600 pence divided by 100 to get it into pound form, 600k. So your total equity is 600k. So they've given you a cost of equity, you've got your total equity, and then at the end we work out the debt plus equity, so we know what the denominator of the fraction is. So that's your first bit. And then you've got your bank loan. So the next bit is the bank loan. Here they've told you that the bank loan consists of 12% bank loans at 235k, 12% bank loans, but the company pays 25% corporation tax. Corporation tax isn't included in the equity, it doesn't impact equity at all, but it does impact your bank loans. So 12%. So for cost of bank loan, you're doing 12% multiplied by 1 minus tax. So 0.12 t equals 0.25, 25% tax. 1 minus 0.25 equals 0.12 times by 0.75. 0.12 multiplied by 0.75 equals 0.09. So cost of bank loan equals 9%. So your cost of bank loan is 9%. Your total bank loan amount equals, here they've told you bank loan at 235k. So your total bank loan amount is 235k. So you've got your cost of bank loan and you've got your total bank loan, 235k. That's the second bit. C, you want to look at your irredeemable bonds. So you've got 150,000 at 8% irredeemable bonds valued at market value. So nominal value is 100, market value is 110. So irredeemable bonds. So your cost of irredeemable bonds equals. So they told you that your irredeemable bonds are 8%. 8% irredeemable bonds. Even though it's 8%, the issue is that it's coupon rate. So it's similar to what we were looking at before, values of bonds. So instead of looking at it as 8%, it's actually 8. And then same as the bank loan, 1 minus T, 1 minus tax, 1 minus T, divided by your market value. Not nominal value is 100, your market value is 110. So 8 coupon amount, 1 minus T divided by market price, 110. 8, 1 minus 0.25 divided by 110 market value, market price equals 8, 1 minus tax divided by your market value, your market price. So 0.0545, so 5.45%. 0.0545, 5.45% is your cost of irredeemable bond, total irredeemable bond amount equals. They tell you that your irredeemable bond is basically 150k, but the issue is because it's that would be at nominal value, but because it's valued at market value at 110, so 110% of your nominal value. So you're doing 150,000 divided by the nominal value, which is 100, multiplied by the market price, 110. So 150,000. What they would give you in the question, the way they give it to you in the question is that it's always nominal value. They're giving it to you based on the concept that it's on nominal value. So you divide it by the nominal value amount. So 150k divided by nominal value 1,500 multiplied by the market price 110. 1,500 multiplied by 110 equals 165k. And this is your total irredeemable amount. So weighted average cost of capital formula, cost of equity, cost of bank loan, total bank loan, cost of irredeemable bond, total irredeemable bond. And we've worked out cost of equity is 15%, total equity is 600k. Cost of the bank loan is 9%, total bank loan is 235k. And our irredeemable bond, cost of irredeemable bond, 1 minus tax over market value, 5.45%, and our total irredeemable amount is 165k. And the last step is working out this denominator, debt plus equity. So we've got our equities, we've got our bank loans, we've got our irredeemable bonds, we've got all our costs. We want to know what the debt plus equity is. And the debt plus equity is basically what we've already worked out. So all of the totals that we've already worked out. So it's 600k, add the 235k of the bank loan, add the 165k of the irredeemable bond, 600,000 plus 235 plus 165,000 equals 600,000 plus 235,000 plus 165k is exactly a million, equals 1 million. And then get on to the final stages, actually doing the weighted average cost of capital. Now it's just substitution, just timesing everything in, putting everything in. So cost of equity already works out 15%. Worked out our cost of equity is 15%, and our total equity is 600k over the total amount. So cost of equity is 15% multiplied by equity that we know we have divided by the total amount. That's your first bit, equals our second bit, our bank loan. Bank loan, cost of bank loan is 9%, 12% multiplied by 1 minus tax equals 9%. And our total bank loan amount is 235k over total amount of debt plus equity over 1 million. So 9% multiplied by 235k over the total amount. Second step, and the third, the irredeemable bond, which is a little bit tricky. This bit was a little bit tricky, but you just sort of have to remember irredeemable bonds, always market values and nominal values for irredeemable bonds. Percentages 5.45 for our cost of our irredeemable bond, and the total irredeemable bond is 165k. So 0.054 multiplied by 130 multiplied by 165k over the full amount, 1 million, equals, and then you've got three different figures, and then you've basically just got to sort of add them together. So 0.15 multiplied by 600, 0.15 multiplied by 600 divided by a million, plus 0.09 multiplied by 235k, where 235 over a million, add your final bit, just double check that figure, 0.545, yeah, 0.545 multiplied by your fraction, which is 165 over 1 million. Add them all together, equals 0.1201, which equals 12% weighted average cost of capital. That is the final. Double check it, yeah, 12%. That's what I got when I did it before. 12%, 12.01% weighted average cost of capital.